All right, down to the bottom right-hand corner, Taldrim Alter, we have Complexity, Minigun, Chad MF Jones spawning as our red Protoss player. His opponent at the top right-hand corner, Mr. Cheesemaster 2000 himself. That's Ruff. He's our Green Terran player.
I always want to say his name like it's a dog. Like
Ruff!
Yeah.
That just went into pirate. Oh, my God.
Transfer all the way over. That's.
I actually just did 4 impressions at the same time. It's just too high level for most people
Super
to get
skilled.
it. I'm like an impressionist.
Super skilled.
Yeah.
Now, so the thing you have to think of going into this game is what is Minigun's mindset? You know, once you've been cheesed twice, sometimes you can over-prepare for cheese.
Yes.
Where you actually, cut drones, try to cut workers in general, and try to get more forces out. Spend more probes around the map trying to scout things out. And if your opponent just plays straight up macro, you can actually find yourself falling behind. So it's something you need to be careful of. And really, Minigun's such a accomplished and standardized player at this point, where he's played in tons of events, tons of tournaments. He just has to do his normal thing and not overreact to the situation. And it looks like there's going to be a normal opening at least coming up from Ruff this time. No barracks and base this time.
Let's be honest here, though. Minigun has played in lots of tournaments. Not a lot of live tournaments. He has started coming to them, which we're very happy about. Yes. He made his first LAN appearance over at IPL 3, although, of course, he was at the Red Bull training thing center.
SoCal.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was there for a little while, but his first major appearance at a LAN was at IPL 3. It was great to actually meet him for the first time. I've talked to him several times, but never actually shook his hand until that day.
He's quite a young gentleman.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
He's a cute little kid. Anyway, so second pylon coming up now for Minigun. We'll see if he decides to throw down pretty quick second gas and opt for a little more conventional sentry expand. Looks like that was what he was planning. I mean, that's what he was planning to do in game number 1 before he picked up on the cheese.
Yep.
Still was a pretty heavy sentry composition when he attacked the bunkers, but...
And it'll actually be pretty telling to see if he makes a early Zealot or not. So if he makes a Zealot soon... definitely, he'll be watching out for more of the cheese.
Super zoom in. Nothing yet. Okay.
Doesn't look like it.
Well, we'll continue Gateway Watch 2000 here in just a bit, but looks like
he is going to get the probe in, and he'll be happy to see that at least one Rax is chilling there.
He'll be happy to see no gas.
Yes. So no early Banshees coming, anything like that. Just looks like just your standard expand.
And let's see here, is this probe going to make its way out? No. Caught by the Marine. And he will know that the expansion is coming up soon, though, unless, of course, Ruff is moving once again into proxy second racks. And looks like Minigun, I love how he's building in multiple pylons into his buildings. He's making sure that they're all safe. There. No Arctosis pylons for him, no.
And it's really, he's definitely not forgetting. At this point, he's not saved up the chrono to do that. So it looks like this is going to be just a 2 or 3 gate expand here. He's starting to save resources now. So he just spent some more. So. So
that's true. Yes.
Yeah. So definitely, it's looking like it's going to be much more of a standardized game. Minigun's probably just looking to win by conventional means. He probably believes he's the stronger player, so there's no need for him to do anything silly as long as he makes sure that Ruff isn't doing anything silly. I think he feels pretty confident about this matchup. No negative feeling towards Ruff's skill level, but I think definitely in terms of known quality, that Minigun might be ahead.
This is really odd timing on this 4th racks for Ruff. Usually when you see people do the gasless FE with the bunker into 4 racks, they drop down racks 2, 3, and 4 at the exact same time. Mm-hmm. Most of the time when you saw 3 put down like this, you can just naturally assume double gas in a transition to medevacs. Yep. This is maybe just a sign of Ruff being a little uncomfortable with the standard game, nerves getting to him. I'm not really sure, to be perfectly honest. But that's still a very odd timing to decide, well, I will add that 4th racks.
Yeah, and he's only single gassing, not double gassing, which I think is interesting as well. So,
yeah, definitely.
He's definitely intending to stay on more like the low-level heavy marine stuff for quite a while.
And there's gas number 2, but again, you usually see both just come up at the same time after 4 racks. Even if you are going for just purely bio upgrades.
Yeah, you definitely normally see both, which is interesting, and that's a great poke by Minigun there, where he just took shield damage and is forcing SCVs to come off the line, building another bunker, making Ruff feel a little bit scared about early pressure. So it's great. Chad is being active, and he's only doing it with 3 Stalkers, which is fantastic.
Yeah, certainly, and these Marines are going to start making their way out. And Minigun will have to watch out because these Marines do have quite high DPS, even in their unupgraded state, but he's doing a nice job. His micro's pretty good so far, and almost does, but
kicking
unfortunately,
off Marines though.
Yeah, so he's certainly getting his money's worth because he hasn't really taken that much damage. Only just a little bit on one of those Stalkers, and he's building up a pretty good force back at home.
Everyone's mineral count is quite high, so I wonder if they're looking for an early third, or if they were just too focused on the micro. It looks like they're just too focused on the micro battle there.
Like, just from watching the battle, that's what it felt like. And as we can see, Robotics Facility and Twilight Council coming down at the same time, along with a pylon for Minigun. Back on his opponent's side of things, Ruff had tech labs and reactors and everything basically appear at once. At the same time, he drops down 3 supply depots, because I was going to bring it up a second ago, but the battle was happening. He was stuck on 46 supply for a while.
He likes that number. It's a very comforting number. It's a good, you know when you've reached your cap and when you should go attack, when you have 46 supply.
I like it. I'm going to start building. All of my builds are now going to revolve around that. But
just plan it in.
As everyone just watched me publicly humiliate myself on ladder over the weekend here on the stream. So.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. I played one game against a diamond level Zerg who didn't believe I was me. And so HD and I were talking the whole time. He's like, it's not you. No, it's not. And I'm like, no, HD's sitting right next to me. He's like, nope, it's not. So we tweeted at him the whole time, and he's like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. That's so cool.
Is he doing the girl voice too?
Yeah, no, he's actually was a pretty cool guy because he's been tweeting at us afterwards. Awesome. But he started tuning in night after night now, which is pretty awesome.
So it looks like Minigun is definitely known for his Blink Stalker play. It looks like he's definitely going back into that here, which is fantastic against this heavy Marine style. And he's getting a War Prism. I'm so excited.
Yes.
So it's great. It's actually what's something a lot of people don't realize is it's only minerals. Of course, everyone realizes that, but it's cheaper than an observer if you're trying to spot up ground to try to blink up. There's no gas component to it. They're easy to replace and they're cheap.
And here we go. It looks like he's going to make his way down, and we'll see if Minigun has enough to hold off these units. Stim is not finished, and not even close to finish. That is actually very bad for Ruff. He gets so many units caught now. It looks like he will be able to make his way through and pick off 1 or 2 Stalkers, but to be frankly honest, Minigun came out way ahead in this attack.
Absolutely came out way ahead. Unless he can get, he is starting to pick up quite a
few
more.
I like. Okay, let's actually take stock of units lost there. 25 units killed for Minigun, only 5 units killed for Ruff. And even though Minigun's cost a lot more, that number has not equalized. And looks like we're gonna have a Zealot drop at the same time that Minigun pokes through the front.
It looks like Ruff is trying to transition into 2 starports as well. So I wonder if he's going to try. A lot of times Terran players, when they get a little desperate, they're like, screw it. 2-port Banshee.
That's kind of like the DT call for Protoss players.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, actually, it looks like Minigun is going to do some sort of coordinated blink into the natural at the same time that he draws units away with his drop over at the main.
That would be fantastic timing. And definitely he's looking like he's going to move into Colossus play after this. So even if he does try to prepare with more bio, his Colossus switch is going to absolutely wreck him. And he's not even pulling SCVs away. And does he get out of here? Knight's control.
Get away! Yes,
Very
he
nice
actually
job.
does. Let's see. So he keeps all those Stalkers. He did lose his 3 Zealots, but he manages to kill 16 workers overall. Yeah. Fantastic trade there for Minigun. Even with that, now I know people are going to look up and be like, wow, those supplies are pretty close though. Well, folks, look at it. He's producing basically all Marines up to this point. We finally have a couple of Marauders, but it's been very cheap supply on multiple racks up to this point. That's why he's keeping close in supply. Minigun is leagues ahead in terms of tech.
Absolutely.
In bases. He's got his 3rd just finishing up as well. His infrastructure is a lot better, so even though the supplies were only a little bit different there, Minigun's a lot farther ahead than that indicates.
Absolutely, and he's about to transition into charge lot dual colossi. And, there's just not. I mean, he does have 2 starports up, so if he starts producing tons of Vikings right now, he'll be okay. But it's really hard to keep up with a Protoss that's doing dual Robo Colossi. Like, that's a lot of Colossi you can get very quickly.
Yeah.
Especially if he saves up Chronos to do it.
I do like, though, that Ruff is playing the more standard game now. He's trying to win on his macro and his own merits. He has built up quite a bit of gas. He needs to think about producing a few more units at a time now. There we go. 3 medevacs coming up at once. And honestly, if he gets 6 medevacs with this force, regardless of what Minigun has on the ground, this is still going to be a very, very scary push.
I mean, it is, but he should also realize that you can't just do everything in isolation. He has to know that Minigun knows that he's mainly Marines, so he should be expecting the Colossi transition, and should be getting
stim. What was that?
That was a little early. People are still filing in, and that was. I don't even know what to say, but that was just cut to pieces right there.
He picked off a few sentries to the front, but he loses just the vast majority of units to those Colossi at the back, and that's painful to swallow.
Again, that goes into what I was just saying before he was attacking. He had to know that Minigun wasn't just going to sit there and let him mass Marines and win.
Right.
Like, he had to know that he was going to stop that, and he's just now making Vikings.
All right. Well, Vikings are at least coming out 2 at a time, although he has the resources and supply to start. Oh, he's building another reactor. I'm sorry. That's why he wasn't producing 3 at a time. He will have some Vikings added in here, but of course, this is going to go at the cost of his ground army for a while, which isn't all that big to begin with. But he does have a sufficient number of medevacs for this if he can find himself a favorable engagement. Yes, to a degree, I'm playing that caster role of, come on.
Do you know how long it takes for 2 Vikings to kill 6 Colossi?
Trust me.
It doesn't matter. You're dead.
As I said before, as you're the caster, you've got to play the what can Ruff do to get back in this game, So I'm trying not to sound too biased here for Minigun.
I mean, Tal'Darim is a great map for Vikings to harass Colossi. So if Minigun doesn't take great control of everything that he's doing, and it looks like Ruff is double expanding, which is fantastic. That's the only way he's going to get back in this game is if these 2 expansions can live. And Minigun right now is transferring into the Storm, Archon, Charge Lock, Colossi Deathball that we see so often now, and it's amazingly effective, especially against this composition, especially if he starts overproducing Vikings, which there looks like it's a good chance he's going to be.
Ruff is unfortunately supply capped as well at 142, and with that Templar Archives you were mentioning, with Storm coming up, with the fact that this is actually going to be very powerful. I imagine he'll keep these Templar up, or at least even if he morphs that one into an Archon, the next few that'll warp in, he'll actually keep those up. But another Warp Prism drop is going to make its way in, and I assume, it looks like it's actually rallied up to go right past this expansion. That is very unfortunate for Ruff.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, he has to know what's coming. Like, Minigun definitely, that was not on accident. That was definitely something that he was doing on purpose. He's probably just gonna drop off 1 Zealot. Nope.
Maybe.
Nope.
Warp Prism
doesn't matter.
Okay, there we go. He's coming back. All right. Yeah. But
don't make a fool out of me, Chad.
Ruff's main force is making its way out the front. Yep. We have a few high-energy Templar, though, that can drop down some storms. And here it is.
And the Vikings making their way in.
They're actually quite powerful, yes, but the Guardian Shields have gone down now. The Vikings are starting to get split up. And Ruff doesn't even want to engage. He kills a couple of Colossi.
Storms!
Eats the entirety of those storms. Oh, God, and Colossi chewing up the rest. Now we have an 80 supply deficit for Ruff. And really, folks, he's on 2 base. It looks like he did manage to get a few SUVs over the left-hand side, so he'll be on 3 base temporarily, but those units are not going to last very long.
Absolutely. Look how he just has stimmed them again. They're running dry. They're on fumes. Luckily, the medevacs do have a lot of energy, but at this point, with this many, he's got Zealots in the base. He's got Colossi coming in the front. He just doesn't have the ability to withhold this attack. Though I will give him credit for responding decently well to the tech switches, but I think Chad was just one step ahead of him this entire game.
I agree 100%, and Minigun's going to make his way in for the final push, now up by 130 supply, killing workers like there's no tomorrow. Yep. Let's take a look. 58 workers killed altogether. Ruff,
and there's the GG.
Remaining mannered, does throw down the GG.